Three, two, one, and welcome to Kitze. I cannot do this with a microphone. I'm forgetting. So this is the first time I'm using a wireless microphone like this, and for someone who cannot stand still for 2 seconds, it's gonna be very hard to do 30 minutes holding a microphone like I'm a fucking news reporter and I'm about to tell you about the weather in Warsaw. Spoiler alert: it's fucking cold all the time. Don't move to Poland. Someone actually asked me a good question over Telegram. Why did you move to Poland? Which I can fill an entire podcast with. And as soon as I say, dude, that there's no topic for me to talk about today, I immediately come up with something and now I'm going to talk about that. So, anyway, welcome to episode 17. I'm going to try hard not to move. I'm in my professional Joe Rogan ass looking setup. I'm in Zico's hotel room. Zico, say hi. I'll try to.
Hi.
So Zico has been nice enough. We're actually celebrating his birthday, and this is how two nerds celebrate someone's birthday. Like they're in a hotel room. He's coding. He's making his talk for the conference tomorrow, while I'm hijacking half of his room to record this podcast. Because if I do this with my wife and the baby, my wife is going to murder me. It's going to be the podcast called True Crime: How a Wife Murders a Guy because he's doing a podcast while the baby is sleeping. So the trip has been successful. We're settled, the baby's sleeping, and now I'm recording in Zico's room. So I forgot the entire intro and everything because it's a miracle that I'm even recording this. So welcome to Kitze 17. This is the podcast that needs a better name. I'm talking about habits, productivity, life hacks, whatever. I cannot do the intro because it's fucking 11 p.m. and it's too late and I'm lacking words today and I'm going to try to do at least 30 minutes for you guys because at least three people commented today that please do this podcast. It's helping me run. It's helping me with this and that. And now you guilted me into doing this. Like I was completely fine. I ordered a beer earlier and I was like, you know what? Today I'll skip the podcast. And then I see these comments. I'm like, fuck it. I'll do the freaking thing. So I guess when I said every day, it's gonna be every day, bro. Just like Jake Paul. Do you remember that song? Zico, are you young enough to or old enough to remember that song?
Actually, I have no
Every
idea.
day you oh my god, I'm embarrassed that I know that song and Zico doesn't. Anyway, so what was I saying? Welcome to the thing. We're not gonna do a bench review because I don't have my screen. Well, I could have bothered with this, but I'm kind of embarrassed to show you my habits today because I was traveling. I still tried to do my best, like I did the fasting, I did the no sweets, I did the no all of the no's. I'm tired of repeating them. I was basically eating clean most of the time. I broke my rule about alcohol because we went to this Czech restaurant and I felt like, you know what? Let's live a little bit. It's a little bit weird. Like I feel like Zico is my editor right now and he's judging every single thing that I say. Like with half of my brain, I want to think that he's concentrated on his fucking talk, but I know that he's listening. And I feel like what would it be like to record a podcast with an editor? And I would absolutely hate it and I would murder him in the middle of it. So Zico, focus on something else. I can hear you focusing. He's laughing, the fucker. And I cannot concentrate on what I was saying. Yeah, habits. Um, I didn't do a workout today naturally. So what happened yesterday is I finished packing at 1 a.m. And as I said, 1 a.m. Yeah, a.m. As I said before, there hasn't been a day in my life where I packed or prepared a conference talk at least 2 days before. Everything that I put in the car, everything I put in the suitcase could have been added 2 days before. But what kind of personality trait is this, you to have it for like I don't know for how many years. I remember visiting London for the first time, and I was supposed to be there for 5 days for giving a talk. And I spent three and a half at least days, probably four, in a room in an Airbnb working on my presentations, wondering what the fuck is wrong with me. I think I get some sort of thrill and some sort of feeling of being late. Like I can always be on time at the dentist, but I'm always at least 4 minutes late. And I don't know, like I think I've read somewhere in a book or on a podcast about this type of personality that doesn't value others' time. Basically, a piece of shit asshole. Really doesn't value others' time. And but with the packing and with the conference, like I don't even know where the file. Like tomorrow, I'm opening this freaking conference, and I don't know where the file for the presentation is. So by now, I should have at least found the file, rehearsed the presentation by watching my old talk. It doesn't. It takes 15 minutes to watch my old talk and just to rehearse what I'm gonna say tomorrow. But it's almost midnight, and probably after recording this, I'll go to sleep and I'll be like, oh fuck it, I'll do it in the morning. But why? Why not be ready? Because I can improvise the talk tomorrow. It happened last year in Croatia. Like they fucked up my slides. The age-old discussion that we have with Zico, like a professional should have a laptop with an HDMI port, and I'm like, no, I don't need an HDMI port. And their dongles failed or whatever the fuck happened. I don't remember. I think it was their fault. Don't give me that look. It was their fault. And the slides didn't load, and I was improvising my talk for at least 10 minutes, I think, and then the slides came back on, and I continued with slides. So in order to improvise my talk, I first have to remember what the fuck was I talking about. So it's gonna be interesting tomorrow. We'll see. What was I saying? Habits. What else was I giving you in the bench review? Sleeping. Slept horribly because I slept only a couple of hours. What else we have? Fasting. Meals. For meals today, I made the beautiful oatmeal in the morning. I just cheated because there was no protein at home, and I put 1 teaspoon of honey. Sue me, I guess. So I borrowed it. The honey wasn't in my sweets roll because I'm allergic to honey, and I literally need more food in my life where I would die if I eat more of it. Do you know how fit I would be if I was allergic to M&Ms and M's and I can eat only four? That would be like the best life ever. So I'm glad that I can eat honey because I can eat only 1 teaspoon or two before I die. So if you ever want to kill me, offer me a cup of tea and you know what to do. Probably shouldn't say this in front of Zico, who's tired of my ass hijacking his hotel room. What else were we saying in the bench review? Jesus fucking Christ, I'm blanking out. So habit meals, yeah, meals. So today, we were supposed to leave with the car to drive to Warsaw at 9 a.m. And I told Zico like we're gonna be there before sunset, but it kinda we left home at 10:30 a.m. And I don't know why. Like even my wife said that you could have cleaned the car a few days ago. I could have ironed the thing a few days ago. Like we did the thing last minute. We went on the road, but we had salads prepared. So our first stop, I just spilled water on my phone. It's fine. It's waterproof, hopefully. Our first stop was at a gas station, which was half Subway. Now, I've never seen a Subway institution that's not Subway. So it was like half gas station. My wife's turning around, was like, "Are we in Subway?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I went to the car, pulled the salads, and we were eating very chewy green leaf spinach chewy chicken salads while just drooling over the other normal people while they're on a road trip enjoying Subway. So that was stop number one. The baby was fine. She was sleeping for most of the way, which is amazing. I don't know if she's sleeping right now. I'm afraid to go back to my room. Maybe I'll sleep here on the floor just to get enough sleep. We'll see, depending on the baby. She was sleeping for most of the time, but when she would yap, I think like after 2.5 hours, 2 hours of driving, I think is the rule for newborns. You gotta take them out of the car seat after 2 hours. So we had to stop again, and no, we stopped for charging. Which electric cars, yada yada. It's annoying to charge them. As I mentioned in a previous podcast, I'm reconsidering having an electric car just because of this kid. Because for now, my wife is breastfeeding her or whatever, and we can pass the time. But when she will be a toddler and when she will be fussy and everything, like keeping her calm for 40 minutes while we stop to charge a car and there might not even be enough charging spaces or whatever, like I would like a fuel car that can take me 1,000 kilometers without stopping. And even if we stop, we would stop for 5 minutes, put some gas, and then just leave. So today the charging was fine, I would say. One thing that bugged me, one stupid thing that happened is like there was another Tesla next to us, and my wife started breastfeeding with a cover and everything. And the guy kind of gave a glance our way. And me, the fucking panicky asshole that I am, like the guy maybe was just looking at the Tesla because Tesla owners like Teslas. How much do you hate Zico that I keep mentioning the car name that you don't like? But you would definitely drive if you had it today.
Yeah, definitely.
You would definitely drive it. So Tesla, 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 Tesla. The fucking guy just gave a glance, and I just waved at him, and I gave him like a sarcastic thumbs up. That's not even a thing. There's no such thing as a sarcastic thumbs up. And he just smiled and gave me a thumbs up back, and I'm like, oh, so that's why we have different fingers. I'm supposed to give him the middle finger when he's looking at my wife, not the thumbs up. Anyway, the guy was super friendly, didn't do anything basically, minded his own business. We stopped for a while. The baby was fine, and then the last stop before we went to Warsaw was the baby was sleeping so much. Like my wife was sleeping in the back. I was listening to Coco Melon songs. It was like baby roop doop 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 doop. I was also falling asleep. Thanks God, the amazing brand that is Tesla has an amazing autopilot Zico that no other cars don't have, and it kept me on the road safe while I was listening to Baby Shark doo doop doo doop doo doop doo doop. So we stopped for another time because I was like, let's wake her up. It's been 2 hours. Like I don't want to drive more. And we stop at another place. We stop at a gas station. I'm like, do you have a toilet here? And she's like, no, it's in KFC. And I'm like, is the universe tempting me? First of all, Subway, then KFC. And kind of with my wife, we were like, I would like some fries, maybe. And I was like, no, we brought nuts, we brought apples, and we ate that. And she was like, can you wash this apple for me? And I'm like, I went toward KFC and I just stood on the glass door and looking all of these fuckers eating chicken. I'm like, I'm not walking in there with a fucking green apple like an asshole. It felt too stupid. So I just turned back and with the water of what? Fuck, man, water of bottle. I almost said that. Bottle of water, just rinse the apple. And that was our sad eating journey on the road. So yeah, the trip was fine. As a first trip, this baby was freaking amazing. It's like almost 5 and something hours of 6 hours of a trip, um, 5 hours of driving, I would say, and she was perfect for the first time. But I think we pushed it too far. So we arrive at the hotel. I see the fucking doorman here of the hotels. I totally didn't expect this guy. If you don't know Zico, you're gonna hear more about him in upcoming vlogs. You probably heard something in the. Have we vlogged together?
Mm, we did. You never published
I never
that.
published the
You
vlog,
never
but
edited or
yeah, and
published
that
that.
makes me sad because Zico is someone who worked for me. I mentioned him as in the past as the guy who quit because the boss took a day to stream. While giving him a full salary, he was like, "No, but you cannot do what you want. I want you to do what I need, or whatever." And that started. And we were like, "Fuck it, we cannot work together." Now he's making too much money, and I cannot afford him. Yeah. What was I saying? Tangents on tangents. I was saying something. Also, how much someone is gonna murder us because we're both the loudest people in this hotel at 11 p.m.
I think we're far enough from other rooms, so it's fine.
We are far enough from other rooms. You think
I
so?
mean, like, there wasn't like they were cleaning this room, so I have actually no idea. But till someone knocks on the door, I think
We're,
it's
we're
fine.
fine, yeah. Until someone murders us, we're fine. We're both IT geeks with no fighting skills. So I think we would just offer them iPhones and MacBooks and be like, please leave us
They
alone.
would be really happy with that.
They would be happy with that and we wouldn't find them. I've been in a single fight in my life. I swear to God, I've been in a single fight. It was not even technically a fight. Like some fucking kid who was probably a couple of years younger than me just said something to my sister and didn't see that I was behind his back. And I just, you just lose your fucking control, not thinking of the consequences. I just kicked the shit out of him. Then I created a bigger situation because his dad came to my dad and yada yada yada. But I've never been in a fight, and I should be probably at some point. So let's yell. What's the worst that can happen? We're not gonna be at the conference tomorrow, right? Dude, tangents on tangents.
I don't have to prepare to talk then.
Yeah,
No,
because
nor
we
do you need to find it.
yes,
If we
because
end
we
up in the
might
hospital today.
exactly.
Huh?
He's doing kind of a badumtas gesture. So we arrive at the hotel. Zico is nice enough to help me with all the baby stuff and stuff. I mean, for a while he was just mesmerized by seeing a Tesla, this majestic, beautiful car that you rarely see in the wild. So it took him a while to come back to his senses, and then he helped us with everything. Like he was like, "Baby, maybe who cares about your daughter? Let me see this beautiful piece of engineering by the one and unique Elon Musk. He's gonna hit me with chocolates or alcohol or whatever he has there." Yeah. So we arrive at the hotel. We move in. We have this expendable bed that we travel with. So we set everything, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go charge the car because it doesn't have a lot of range. So we go to charge the car without thinking that I have a bunch of luggage and I have a bunch of things. So we basically drive one circle around Warsaw and we come back. And with my wife, we push the limits of our daughter. Like she was calm the entire day, and we're like, let's go to a restaurant. What's the worst that can happen? So we go to a busy Czech restaurant. There's like so many people and waiters and so many things going on around us. And for a while until we order, she's calm. She's like, oh, look, people, I haven't seen this many people. Like she's, all jolly. The problem with her is there's no level 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 0 and 100. So suddenly she go from 0 to 100. She also did that in KFC. It was interesting. And we had to take our food for takeout. Now, there's a difference when you eat a meal at the restaurant, and there's a difference even if it's a classy or fancy meal and you eat it as takeout. The saddest time of my life is when I went to a doctor talking about this leg issue that I've been telling you guys about, and he was like so calmly and confidently told me that you would need a metal hip. Like this motherfucker, just looking at some x-rays, he was like, no, don't worry, a lot of people get metal, like. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I got so depressed that I went to, this is the saddest thing you can do. He broke up recently, so you've probably done it and he has experience in that, right? Have you done this? And be 100% honest. You go to McDonald's and you don't eat there, you don't take the food home, you park next to the other cars and you eat next to them. Have you done that?
We used to do that all the time.
Ah, that's so fucking heartbreaking. We used to do it, but now I don't have to do it. It's sadder when you do it alone. Have you done it alone?
No.
Okay, so I'm the saddest person on earth. So, dude, when you just park, especially next to the other car, and you just give each other a glance like, oh, we're this low in life, McDonald's guy, like it's so fucking sad. Anyway, I don't know how I got to talking about metal hip. I was talking about, yeah, at the restaurant, we took the food for takeout and we ate it in the fucking hotel room. It was sad, and then I went out, left my wife, left my wife. I said it like. Zico left his girlfriend. I left my wife. Now we're partying here with sparkling water. Dude, you know it's almost not your birthday yet, and you haven't done. Have you blew candles today for a cake?
No.
I'm gonna figure out a way to do this. We have time.
There was that app built by True.
No, no, we're not gonna use an app. This fucking nerd, an app. No, we're gonna find a real cake. There's like 30 minutes left. but I don't eat sweets, so whatever. Maybe he's nice enough to not eat cake in front of me. Thank you, Zico.
I can eat the
So
chocolate
he
cake.
convinced me I didn't want to go to the speakers dinner because I don't know why I didn't want to go to a speakers dinner, honestly. Maybe I scrolled the list of speakers and I'm like, I don't see a lot of my friends here. I don't see a lot of people that I know. And I didn't want to go. And he was like, yeah, let's stay. And actually, we had nice conversations. I didn't know that Yanni would be there. So it was like me, Yanni, Max. And it felt like we've been going to conferences for so many years. And it has to be, dude. It has to be one of us at a fucking conference. I'm honestly tired. Like, if they would write a ban that people who have spoken at a conference in 2016, they cannot attend conferences, I will be the first one to sign it. Because hey, young people, say something new. Like Zico, finally, this is his first talk ever in life. Is it your first talk ever in life?
Not really.
Yes, it is his first talk ever. He's never talked in a. Yeah, I mean, he talked on a fucking chair in his bedroom in front of Tamara, rehearsing a talk, but he's never talked on an actual stage.
I
That's
did.
in IT web dev conference.
Okay, web.com.
Yeah, so got him. So yeah, I think more young people should have more unique opinions and talks, and just let us, the old guard that were giving talks in the past, just die out and stop giving talks eventually. Anyway, it was a nice conference dinner. Hopefully, I'll try to make a setup tomorrow to interview a couple of people and to do maybe. I'm not, but I want to do interviews. I want to do podcasts with people, but my stupid ass brain cannot decide like, is this part of the Kitze cast? Do I have to upload an episode that day and also an episode with a guest? Do I create a second podcast? Dude, the moment I create a second podcast, like I fuck myself so much. Like it's too many things to work on. So I don't want to call it a second pod. Do you have an advice how I should do this, Mr. Professional Speaker who is 23 years old and speaks for the first time tomorrow? Should I have a second podcast or upload the first one?
How about you like try to stick to one thing in life in general?
Burn.
Like you have that problem with apps now with podcasts, before with YouTube channels and like streaming, work, streaming,
Yes.
gaming, doing
Yes.
this,
He's
doing
right.
this.
He's right.
Dealster
This is
and
why you need.
Show GPT
This
and
is why you need people to burn you. Yes, I have 5 YouTube channels, and like when I hired my first assistant, one of his tasks was to come up with strategy for my YouTube. And the poor guy, he did like a PowerPoint presentation with all of my stats and analytics, but it had 30 slides, but it was a very polite way to say, don't have 5 YouTube channels when you can't grow one. He couldn't say that directly, so he had to make like a 30-page PowerPoint presentation for convincing me to do this. But anyway, I'm not gonna make a new channel. If I do the podcast interviews, I'll just upload them on Saturday, on Sunday, or whatever. 17 minutes so far. So what else happened? We went to the conference dinner, and then we went to finish my 10,000 steps. I have actually 14,000, and finished the Apple activity rings. There was a bunch of food at this place. Have you tried the food? Because it actually looked very delicious.
at
At
the
the Asian
Japanese place.
place, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The food looked freaking amazing, but when your boy starts his fast, like I erase food. I was just only seeking for the water, grab the water, eat the water, eat the water. Yeah, you eat the water when you're this tired and it's almost midnight and you've been driving for the entire fucking day. Now, speaking of driving, one thing that I forgot to say is driving sucks. And if I ever had to live in the USA where no public transport, no trains, am I right? They don't have trains and shit. They
they
don't
have
even.
trains. They're horrible.
We drive to Target with our Jeeps and our SUVs and we bulk shop for the entire week. Like driving is the most mundane, stupid ass activity. Even though the this um unique, amazing piece of machinery invented by one of our inventors of our time drives by itself, the Tesla, I still hated you. Especially I had to listen to Cocomelon instead of a fucking audiobook or a podcast or whatever because it was the same feel. Like honestly, I found 2 songs that were absolute bangers. I can't remember the names. One, it was about bugs crawling from the ground when rain comes or whatever. Absolute fucking banger. It goes in my top 10 list. And then there was another one which my wife said this is an old song converted into a child song. It was really, really good. Something about keeping a star in your pocket. Dude, I'm old. I'm a dad. Kill me. Keeping a star in your pocket. What was I saying? Yeah, driving, like, it absolutely kills me. And I just reminisce of the times just going by train, going by plane. I'm dying to try the Steam Deck on a moving thing. Like I've been playing it on my toilet bowl, but I want to play it on a train or on a plane. And even though unlike the Nintendo Switch, which kind of has some advantages, Zico, you cannot mount it and then take your controllers in your hands and just see the screen far away. I was hating the Steam Deck so much. Like this is the moment where Zico, like this fucking guy tells me I told you so many times that I hate it at this point. Because last year he shows me the Steam Deck. I'm like, oh, who would like a bulky thing? Now I have so many. I've never gamed more in my life, so I get it. You're right. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So I wanted to try the Steam Deck on a train or a plane, but for now, I guess we'll drive places. Also, the Tesla Model 3 doesn't have enough space for a kid. I don't know how people do it with two kids. Like I was watching a YouTuber saying, I have three kids and the Tesla Model 3 is fine. Yeah, what do you pack for them? A bib? And they're like walking naked. They're like, hey, kids, we're on vacation. You don't need clothes or toys or anything because you cannot pack fucking three kids in a freaking Model 3. Anyway,
Kent has
Ken,
four kids
yeah,
and a
but
Model
yeah,
3
but he has
now.
also three Teslas. So he has a Model X and a Model Y, and he's collecting, the
Oh,
sexy
oh,
S3 X.
okay.
Do you know also any other car manufacturer that's a meme lord? Like the car spells sexy, like S3 X and Y, and that's their entire shtick, huh? Answer for yourself.
No, but I know other manufacturers that like build cars that last.
Burn. I hope that this audio is not loud enough so you don't hear all the burns that he gives me in this podcast. I hope, I give the microphone to him, but I kind of pull it back so you don't hear like the fucking thing he's going to say. Anyway, like driving is exhausting to me, and I was just looking at the clock, and I couldn't believe how slow the time was passing. Just looking at the clock, it's like 2 hours and 49 minutes left, and then it's still a four. It's a four. It's a four, and I was drained, and I'm not looking forward to the journey back. Now I have to find a place to charge the car, and it's fucking exhausting, and I absolutely hate it. I wanted to tell a plane story, something that happened to me on a plane, which sounds like something invented. It sounds like something that would be in a random comedy skit or a Netflix show or whatever. But this 100% has happened to me. And I think I haven't mentioned it on a podcast because I listen to my own podcast. I should know. Um, I was flying from, I don't know which destination. No, it feels like I've said this on a podcast, dude. No, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. If I have, whatever, I'll tell you again. So I was flying from one place to another place, and I was very, very tired. And do you know that feeling when you're so tired that you feel like kind of drunk? Like I wasn't drinking, but you feel kind of, like you're all over the place because you haven't slept. Like you're not feeling 100% well. And I go on this airplane, and next to me, there's these two people. They look like, I think they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They looked drugged out of their minds. Like I think the guy had face tattoos and he looked huge, like muscular and whatever. You don't say shit to a guy like that, like anything. You don't say good morning. You just keep like a little mouse in your seat and you don't even look left and right, and that's it for the rest of the flight. Your boy here felt strong that morning because I haven't slept properly enough, and you don't have no filter. As I mentioned before, if I wake up early, I want to argue with people. So Zico, tomorrow if I wake up at 5 a.m., don't be at the conference, basically. So anyway, I tell this guy, like he had his foot on my side, and I'm like, excuse me, can you move over your leg? And he just gave me a look, and I swear to God, this is what he said. He was like, hey, do you want to have a peaceful flight? And I said, yes. And it's like, then shut the fuck up. And when someone says that to your face, especially a scary, muscly guy like this says that to your face, do you know what you do? You shut the fuck up for the rest of the flight, dude. Like I was just like, okay. And I just turned around and I just sit there. And after a while, I'm like, oh, fuck it. Whatever happened, happened. They were giggling. They were like, go, whatever. And the we go up because if I use my laptop, the flight attendant is gonna be like, excuse me, until takeoff, until we reach a certain altitude, you cannot, whatever. They're so annoying. Like me using my laptop is gonna do something to the plane. Anyway, we reach a certain place with the plane, and I take off my laptop, and I just put my laptop down so I can work, and I put on my headphones, and this guy gives me a glance, like I don't know what was wrong with him for real. Like he turns to me, he looks at me, like, oh, you're gonna pull out your laptop, and he pulls his tray down and takes like a, how do you call this, roll of money, stack of money with a rubber band around, and just like I was putting the laptop down, he looks at me and he slams this roll of money on the freaking tray, like, and I can feel his look. He's looking at me like, huh, motherfucker. Like probably the laptop was more worth than the money he had, but that was not fucking point. Like I got scared at that point. I'm like, this guy had legit like beef with me. So after a while, I see the flight. He spoke to the flight attendant, and she's doing a gesture for me to remove my headphones, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, this sir next to you, he's saying that you've been bothering him, and he wants you to move to the end of the plane. And I'm like, what? But I would happily do that. So I moved to the back of the plane. When I feel through the entire flight, he just from time to time just looks back at me. And when we stand up, when the idiots in the airplane stand up, when the most Balkan thing is the plane arrives and everyone just stands up. Hey, where you going? There's nowhere to go. We're all gonna go out at once. You donuts. So the guy stands up and he just shoots me looks, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna get murdered in, I don't know, I think I was in Alicante. Well, this is the time I die. So all the time he's giving me looks, like I was pretending to tie my shoe, do this, do that. Eventually he moved on, and it was such a, like, I arrived there and I started telling this story to someone, and for the entire story they were just giving me a look like, mm, That happened. It was super fucking weird. Even with all, like, I remember the next time I traveled, it was next to a nun. I was on a train, and there was like a proper ass nun with, with all with the outfit and the big cross and everything. The funny thing, she was using Apple earpods, not the AirPods, earpods. So I was like, dude, I would pay you 300 euros right now to know what a nun listens to. Like, I need to know which playlist are you playing. I'm dying to know the playlist, nun. But you bet your fucking ass that I didn't say a word, nothing, even to a nun. Like, even if she had the leg or the elbow or whatever, or she was smelly, like, I wouldn't say shit even to a nun. From that moment on, I learned to respect other people's space, and I let them invade my space, and I'm not arguing with anyone because I'm not gonna fight people. So how did we get there? Yeah, even with all of these experiences with trains and planes, like on trains, usually there's like a bunch of drunk people, especially you go from like Germany to Poland. Dude, you go from Germany to Poland and you expect a clear beverage, something that looks like water? Forget about it. All these motherfuckers, they have to have football team jerseys, like all of them. Polish people, German people, football team jerseys, they're so red in the face, so loud, so drunk. I would still take all of that over driving. Like, driving is the dumbest experience ever. And I can't wait to tell my daughter one day when she's going to be using the Tesla Model 39 when Porsche and all the other brands eventually died down because they're not making cars that are worthy. I'm just trying to see how much attention he pays to, but he dozed off a long time ago, I think. So what was I saying? Yeah, I just hope they're gonna find it hilarious when we explain driving. Oh yeah, we were driving these huge ass metal machines that weigh like tons, and the roads were just separated by a white line that a lot of time people don't respect the white line. So they would be like, "But how did you not die?" Oh, we did, but how many? A lot per year, per day, and you still did. We still did. And what did people think about self-driving? Well, a lot of my friends said, "Until I hold my own steering wheel and keep my foot on the gas, that's not driving. If a car drives you, oh, you don't want to drive. You need a driver." Yeah, I want my car to be the driver so I can read a book, play on a Steam Deck, or if you get the Tesla Model X, maybe the new one, which has a graphics card as powerful as a PlayStation 5. Do you know, Mr. Zico, any other car manufacturer that has um, PS5 built into the car? Crickets? The sound of crickets. The sound of silence. Da, 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 da.
What did you say happened to your car when you bought it? That you needed to get a new roof and that the
I would
panels were
still
misaligned and
cut I would cut out my
what?
roof from the car if it
Okay.
has a PS5 built into it.
Hmm.
Like, Mercedes makes you pay for a fucking Tetris game. Anyway, I'm talking about the car way too much. So I promise you, this is the last podcast I mentioned the T word. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna get a normal gas car, probably an SUV. SUV, so Russian when I speak. If this is your first time listening, I'm actually from Macedonia, but anytime I mispronounce something, it's so Russian. I don't know how I filled 27 minutes today, honestly, of bullshit, because I haven't told you anything informative. It was just me ranting about my day. But when I think about it, the podcast is mostly that. What were we talking about today? There's something interesting I need to mention. I have no fucking idea. Let me see my list here, because I made a little list of things that I want to talk about, but I think I went through everything. So we have walking versus train versus plane, healthy food. I mentioned that. Tap me on the back because I've been eating healthy. Habits, packing last minute. Hate that. Conference talk not done. Hopefully we're gonna work on it now. Is your conference talk done, Mister Twister?
It's in progress.
It's in progress. This is the part that kills me. Conference organizers. This is who you hire. Every single conference speaker. Like, how hilarious it is when conference speakers, like organizers, ask for the PowerPoint presentation a week before.
The
Has
funnier
that
thing
happened to you ever?
No, but the funnier thing is like we had a speaker dinner and I was talking to other people and I'm sure that like 50% of people didn't have their slides done
Yeah.
when they went to the speaker dinner, which is literally like I don't know,
Last
like
minute.
12
Yeah,
hours before the
exactly.
talk tomorrow.
12 hours before the talk, most of the speakers don't have a talk. And they're still going to pay for our hotels and for. I don't know how they're going to pay me for electricity. You know, this amazing car doesn't use. Like, how do you measure how much did you waste it? How am I going to charge them for. It doesn't use gas.
Really, you can't do the trip thingy like that. The
I'll have to
cars
do
from
some
like
average.
40 years could do. Just
Yeah.
click the trip thing, get the thing, and
Yeah, but I'll have to calculate like how much did it cost me at the supercharger to. Do you even know what's a supercharger? Is like supercharger.
it's the
This
thing that's
genius
like what five
inventor.
times slower than a gas station. No more. Sorry. It's way more. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it is slow, but whatever, Zico. Conference dinner, guy airplane story. I don't have anything else for you today. I guess I'll just pick a random topic, like one, because I never pressed the random topic button in Coda, which right now it's not even there. So I'll just pick one fucking thing, and Oh, Zico, you would hate me to talk about this. Two random topics: mechanical keyboards and split keyboards. I have opinions on these, dude. Let's get them out of the way. Let's say I have a mechanical keyboard. I hate it because you know why? The neighbors have called the police one time. He's typing too loud. Second of all, split keyboards. The moment someone gets a split keyboard, friendship over. I'm just 100% done with that person. Like there was one useful case. Have you seen that tweet where someone spilled coffee, but luckily they had a split keyboard? That's the only valid use case in the world because the coffee spilled in the middle of the two keyboards. Other than that, you're using a QWERTY full layout. Bye. Bye. Hipsters.
I'm
And
okay
finally,
with it
you're
if
okay
it's
with it?
I'm okay with it if it's for health reasons. Like the same way like some people use a vertical mouse. I have a friend that uses a vertical mouse and someone that uses a trackball mouse, and they're using it because they had like pain in their wrists, and like that's the main reason like Prime is using it, because he literally had pain in his wrist from typing on a regular keyboard. That's why he's using the ergonomic thing. But most people are using it to look cool. And
That's the part that's killing me. They're using
for
it to look cool for
that, like
ergonomics. I agree. I've been also using vertical mouse at some point of my life, just thinking it's gonna save my wrist for what was that thing called? RSI.
RSI, yeah.
RSI.
Repetitive stress.
Nothing has happened. I've been using a trackpad and a low profile Apple keyboard for years and been coding all day and nothing has happened to my wrist. Don't be hipsters. Don't get split keyboards. Don't get mechanical keyboards. Just get an Apple keyboard like a person. Wow, I have no idea how I feel 30 minutes of this bullshit. Usually I do the outro, which I don't have ready right now. I don't have new books to tell you, new shows to tell you. Maybe Zico can do a quick round of favorite book, favorite show, favorite movie, and then you can fuck off. Quickly, Zico. Book.
Have no idea,
He has
honestly.
no idea about a book. Movie. Number one movie.
Again, no idea.
You should see the movie No Idea. It's by Brad Pitt and what Bradley Cooper. Final thing, best TV show, comedy. Come on. This should be easy. It was my favorite show with my ex, and I cannot even say the name without my
Actually,
voice
no, she
quivering.
didn't want to watch it with me because she didn't see Game of Thrones. But House of the Dragon was amazing. That's like one of the
Yeah,
least.
that's one of the best comedies. I asked you about
Oh,
comedy, and
comedy. Sorry,
House of the Dragon is
no,
not. Does it have Neil Patrick Harris in it? House of the Dragon,
no,
so it's not a comedy.
no. So you're probably aiming for like How I Met Your Mother or whatever. But like,
How? Oh, speaking of, How I Met Your Mother is one of the worst shows ever. Not comedies. It's like so predictable, so bullshit, so ha 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 laugh track. It's horrible. Give me a good show.
I have no idea, honestly.
Our podcast guest today, Zico,
Yeah,
super informative. No idea about the. If I ask him about the depths of programming or whatever, we can fill a material for 3.5 hours. I ask him about movie and a show, and he's like, I don't know, brain thinking only in ones and zeros. I'm a developer.
not really. First, I'm focused on the talk because I need to prepare it for tomorrow. But second, it's that you asked for the best thing, not like the top five or something like that. But we could talk about that for hours, so we could do that when I come to your place to like actually have a movie podcast, like an episode that's like all about movies or all about TV shows and all about games.
But until then, you need to prepare your lists.
Yes.
I cannot catch. Okay, number one video game. You cannot say that cat game with the fucking cat stray because you played like one level.
Favorite video game? Not the story one. I like love PUBG because I play with other people, so it's premier than like
It's not worse than FreeFoo on our Discord, which you should definitely join, kitze.io/Discord. This motherfucker has been playing Euro Truck Simulator. And I'm like, it's like 9 a.m. and and this guy's just joining Steam playing, and I'm like, what kind of Monday is it? And when at 9 a.m. you decide, at least me with the dentist and the mall and this and that, this motherfucker driving a truck, and I literally messaged him, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you know what he said? Oh, like thinking that he justified it. He's like, he's from Bulgaria. He downloaded the Bulgaria map, listening to Bulgarian music and playing online with friends, driving virtual trucks in Bulgaria. That's what you need to hang out with to feel productive in life, my friends. After that, I felt like a productivity god. I'm like some idiot somewhere lives in Bulgaria, but instead of going on a road trip with friends, they're driving virtual trucks moving eggs through Bulgaria. Thoughts and opinions.
You know what's the worst part? He has a job. This just means we have wrong jobs. Because like I want a job where I can play PUBG and like Truckmania the entire day. This just means we need to switch jobs.
100%. So I guess, but he's in IT. He's paid. His employer is probably giving him a full ass salary.
Yes.
And he's playing Truck Simulator. So I guess,
We just fucked up
what did we fuck up?
because we picked the wrong job.
I'll pick the wrong job. I thought, when he said we just fucked up, I thought I haven't pressed recording or something happened with the setup and I've been babbling. This is probably, honestly, comment what you think, but I think this was one of the most random and weird episodes so far. Like, I'm not in my top element. I feel weird with this fucker here. I'm very thankful that he let me into his room. We still have 15 minutes to celebrate his birthday. Join all the links and the thingies and whatever. And remember, the most important advice, find yourself a job where at 9 a.m. on a Monday you can play Euro Truck Simulator. And I'll see ya in the next one. Eat your donuts. Bye bye.